Hi, everybody. It's your DM here, Elliott, with
Sadie.
So, unfortunately, because of some people traveling and some people living in places that aren't Seattle and having their own lives and their own things,
Bastards.
living lives that aren't dedicated to this real, actual play podcast, we haven't been able to get a episode of WYD recorded. However, we didn't want to leave you empty-handed, so what we decided to do was Sadie and me are recording or starting a new show called, conveniently,
Rose and Blake.
Our Last Names.
Yeah, don't give away the secret.
You're right. Forget that I just said that. Anyway, please enjoy the preview. We'll be launching the show in about...
Some amount of time.
Exactly. Enjoy. Hello, my name is Elliott Rose. Welcome to Rose and Blake. And today, for our listeners, we have a very special guest. Please welcome Sadie Blake.
Thanks for having me.
It is always a pleasure to have you on the show. We don't have you on the show near enough, Sadie Blake.
I should say so.
I'm glad we both agree on that. Of course, you know the rules of the show, as do I. And the listeners do not, because this is the inaugural episode. So,
I'll never tell.
Because I will.
You'll never tell.
Exactly. So, we're just going to run out the clock for about 40 minutes. Rose and Blake is a conversational show about conversation. And actually, it is the best way to put it is that this is... Sadie and I do a live show conveniently called Rose and Blake, where we basically sell
our last names.
Yes. Where we basically perform our friendship in front of a bunch of strangers for about, however much time they'll give us.
Because friendship isn't real friendship unless it's performative.
Yes, exactly. We live in a capitalist society, and I expect to profit off of my friendship with you, Sadie Blake.
As do I.
Exactly. So instead of having like a topic where we're like, we'll talk, we're going to talk about A&W root beer and how great it is, or, we'll test root beers across the world. We're not doing any of that. Basically,
this is a show without a point.
Yeah, it's like Seinfeld, but there are no writers.
That's perfect.
So basically, we are going to perform our friendship with you, hopefully in front of you or in your earbuds. And hopefully... I remember when we've done the live show and we had somebody approach us, but right after one of our shows, and they said, "I don't know why this is my thing, but it is my thing," and so hopefully
it'll be your thing as well.
Exactly.
That's exactly the vibe we're going for.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like this. I really shouldn't. That's what I want to hear from my fans.
Yeah. I mean, like. It's because I think it takes expectation off of you, right? Like, I like this thing, like, I really love your take on the news. Like, I have to keep reading the news. It's like, it baffles me why I like this.
Right.
I can't pin why. Well, excellent. We'll keep doing that. We'll keep doing whatever, and hopefully you'll continue liking it.
I think Jon Stewart just gets sick to hell of reading the news.
Oh, yeah, that's why he quit, right? Like, that's...
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So update reference. Do you think John Oliver ever gets tired of reading the news? I'm sure he does.
Well, that shows how clued into pop culture I am.
But so this is like one of my favorite things, right? Is just like chatting with Sadie and like hopefully turning a buck on it eventually. And
well, then how about you chat with Sadie instead of the invisible listener?
Because the invisible listener and I have a conspiracy going.
Damn it. I knew it.
But okay.
I'm on to you. Not you.
Them.
You.
Yeah. So, okay. So, Sadie.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to bring you into my world a little bit. It's going to be...
Oh, God.
Terrible and terrifying and boring. So boring. Like, it will blow your mind how boring it is.
My mind's already blown.
So I you know me, when I go out, I have like a hit ratio of weird things happening, right? Like when I go out to like a night on the town, like my hit ratio to something strange happening is about half. Like you put it
About 50-50.
right, yeah, it's a push whether something weird will happen. It isn't insane that something weird happens. It's almost expected.
It's just a fucking coin flip.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's not so much that I just expect to be like bombarded by,
Oceans of weirdness.
yeah, it's not like I expect when I step out from my front door to like have a flock of geese wearing birthday hats to like hang out with me. But it's just like, oh, okay. All right, that was weird. That makes sense. This tracks, I'm still surprised, but I'm not as surprised as I was 7 years ago.
Right? Par for the course.
Yes. So I went to a bar, and I'm not generally a drinker, except for root beer, once every 2 weeks when we hang out.
The king of beers. Wait, that slogan's already
Budweiser.
taken. Damn it.
Yeah.
Again with the pop culture.
Well, at least you haven't been infiltrated by marketing. So I went out and I went to this bar, and I was having a good time there by myself, drinking by myself. It's not sad at all. And
Drinking by myself. Oh.
and I was also wearing my sunglasses at night because I'm a cool guy. I was doing Billy Idol covers.
And the safety dance.
Yeah, we're just getting all 80s pop culture that I loathe into one night. And so like I have this new I have this new question that I will just ask some person who has to unfortunately wait on me, right? Because like I have the belief that if you are going to wait on me, let's make it fun for you too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because like Lord knows you don't want to do this. Lord knows you don't want to fill up my. Lord knows you don't want me to nurse that water for 7 glasses as I sip, a gin and tonic, heavy on the tonic, light on the gin. And so my new question is like, hey, what's the silliest thing you've ever done for a friend? And I think that's a fun question, right?
Yeah.
Like I can tell you the silliest thing I've ever done. And it wasn't for a friend, it was for a relationship. All of a sudden, my partner just said, like, what we should do tonight? We should put on Australian accents and just talk like that the entire night. And I was like, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah. Crikey, And so, like, it's a harmless goof, and it's just like people were like, "Are you actually from Australia?" I'm like, because you have a very weird accent. I was like,
Hi.
dingoes, something dumb. And so I'm talking to my server, and she goes, "Oh, strange, it's the silliest thing." Well, I don't know if it was silly, but I did camming. I was like,
Camming.
mm-hmm. She was a cam girl.
Ah.
And I was like,
All right.
what got you into that? And she goes, I didn't want to work in the service industry anymore. So I decided to work in the service industry in a different way. And I was like, that's fair.
That tracks.
Yeah. I was like, how long did you do it? She goes, I only lasted a week.
Oh, man.
And she goes, but the weird thing is like the weird guys online were actually really kind. They would always say like, don't do anything you don't want to do. It's up to your comfort level. We just enjoy seeing you. And like, to be fair, like I think those guys were kinder than the majority of bosses I've had.
Yeah, for sure.
But I asked her like, how much money did you make? And she goes, I made like $200 my first week. I'm like, fuck, that's
shit.
I was like, do you know if online they're looking for like boring heterosexual men who won't show you anything more than their ankles maybe? As they do switch boxing in the morning.
There's got to be a kink for that somewhere.
That's the beautiful thing about this world is that somewhere you are someone's kink.
Yep.
Like there is somebody who just sees you and is like, well, I don't know why I'm into this thing, but I'm super into this thing.
Yep.
And so like that gives me heart. Like I mean, like, I love the idea because, like, I don't think I'm a particularly handsome man. You've seen if you listen to WYD or check out our episode, our website wyd.com, you can see my profile picture, which is a pillow with glasses on, and that's basically what I look like.
That's completely inaccurate. It's wydpod.com.
You are so. Thank you again.
And also the pillow thing is inaccurate.
Like, here's the thing that weirds me out, and like I have this tradition where with my best friend, and all of my best friends have tended to be women. I take this one photo of like me being physically warm around them, which means like I'll lean up against them, right? Like we took that one warm picture, and and we've never taken a picture together since.
Or had warmth.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
This is the Cold War of friendships.
I'm Russian, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, how could I not be?
Yeah.
Like, did you see the
You've
book?
been practicing for it your whole life.
Did you see the book that I bought today?
It's Dostoevsky.
So
Because of course it is.
yeah, that's actually, and I've been looking for this particular translation. Nobody cares, but I care. But like, we do have the Cold War of friendship, and like the time that we took the photo together, like I saw it immediately, and Sadie didn't. But I saw it, and I was like, man, I have like the Death Star of heads. Like she's like the Rebel Alliance, and I'm fucking that's no moon. Like that's Elliott's noggin.
And then you showed me the picture, and I was like, how is your head so big?
Because, okay, listeners, here's what I want you to imagine. Imagine a full-grown woman's head. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's good size for her body.
It's a head-sized head.
Yeah, it's head size. It's not head size plus or head size minus. It's just, that's what a human head looks like. And then I'm leaning into the picture with my back to you a little bit, and I'm looking up, and
to be fair, you are closer to the camera.
It is a minuscule difference. I enjoy you trying to be fair here, but like the real fairness is like my head. I counted it up. My head is 2 Sadie heads, 2 Sadie heads length, and then 1.5 Sadie's heads width.
Can we start measuring everything in Sadie heads?
I mean, like it's certainly a better measurement than imperial. But yeah, I mean, like, that was just, it was like it is like, it's still one of my favorite pictures that I have on my phone. But like it never ceases to amaze me just seeing how fucking big my head is. It's the same. Like I showed you that picture of like when I was 2 with my mom and my dad, and like my mom is sitting there, and like I'm on her lap, but like my head is bigger than my mother's head. This 42-year-old woman.
That poor woman.
Like thankfully I came out of her stomach. They were like, we can't keep.
We can't do this.
This is a kindness, Ms. Rose. We can't do this to you.
I was also born C-section.
Oh, yeah? Were you breech?
Yep, coming out backwards.
Hell yeah. Fuck the rules.
And I've been an obedient daughter ever since.
Yeah, you got your rebellion out when you came out.
Yeah, that was the first and only.
But then, so I have a friend, I have friends outside of you. I'm not making them up.
The one in Canada?
Yeah, that you'll never see because like they don't have cell phones in Canada. And
yeah. And they can't travel because of, the
Muslim ban.
Yeah.
And so I have this friend, and she goes like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I was like, yeah.
Never. Never ask me questions.
I hate this. She goes, I want your opinion on something. I was like, I'm full of opinions, whether they're right or wrong. Doesn't matter. So I got them.
Accurate.
Unfortunate. And she goes, I'm thinking about doing boudoir photos and doing them online, getting a Patreon. And I was like, okay.
All right.
And she called it porn noir. That's what that's the vibe that she's going for. And and I'm like, all right.
All right.
That's
You can
cool.
see it.
And like when she was telling me about it, like, Sadie, you've been my friend for long enough. Like, you know that my general vibe is that, like, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you do, hey man, if it brings you bliss, right? Fucking, I hate that so much. People use that in such the worst way. You know what? My morning exercise isn't bringing me bliss this morning, so I'm not doing it. It's like, sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit for the greater good. You just got to do it, right?
Yeah, my job doesn't bring me bliss.
Yeah, quit.
Fucker.
Yeah. And so, like, she goes, I was so worried that you would, like, think that I'm a degenerate. I was like, I don't know how to explain this to you in a way that I think you'll understand, but, like, my darling, I don't care. Like, I so don't care about so many of the things you do. Like, I don't have it in me to give a shit about this. Like, and I love you dearly. You're one of my... you're in, like, the 20th percentile of people that I adore. But, like, I can't work up a shit to give here.
That's so freeing.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's like why people like feel comfortable to talk to me about anything. Is be like, Elliott, because Elliott doesn't judge me. It's like,
Yeah, Elliott doesn't give a shit.
yeah, like the only thing that I give a shit is like your emotional reaction to the thing, right? Like,
are you happy? Are you comfortable? Cool.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna do this crazy thing. It's like, nice. You know, like if you punch children, I'm gonna be like, well, I don't agree with that. Like, if you're not hurting anybody and you just want to like show off your body and like make money off of it, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, what do I give a shit that you were
Right?
And plus, like, you know, she is an attractive person, and I am sure that there are a lot of dudes online who will be like, hey man, I'll pay money for this.
Right?
And if she can make that money, I mean, she's already objectified every single fucking day.
Right? For free.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
all
like,
are.
exactly. So make some goddamn money off objectification.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah. You know? I feel like if the shoe were on the other foot, if I were to be like, hey, so I have this thing that I need to tell you. I think I'm going to start doing camming work or, you know, whatever. Right. I think like I would be met with much more skepticism. It's like,
I mean, only because I don't think you ever get naked.
You know,
like you're just a hoodie with a head attached.
I would take offense if that weren't so true. Like, you can't get mad at the truth. Here, I need to tell you this. Okay, so there's a girl that I've talked to for a long time, and I said like, what do you think of this? And I took a picture of me doing, of course, I was fucking doing crow pose in my workout shirt, which is the one of only 2 short sleeve shirts I own. The other one's the other workout shirt. And she goes, oh my, you have nice forearms. I was like, is this the only time you've seen my forearms?
It's the only time anyone's seen your forearms.
It is. She and I were flirting for about a year, and like she stayed over at my house. Like, and I've stayed over at her house. And like, not once had she seen my forearms in that intervening year period. Like, I don't think you've even seen my forearms. And you've been my best friend for fucking 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've never seen my legs.
Definitely not.
I've always worn pants.
You always wear pants.
I've never worn shorts.
Yeah, no. Never.
Yep.
To be fair, I almost never wear shorts.
You'll wear skirts sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah. That might be on the way out.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm just not feeling it.
Hey, whatever brings you joy, right? Whatever brings you bliss. But like, I just remember like her response when she saw me doing the crow. It wasn't that she was impressed with like this feat of hand balancing. She was just like so like intrigued by these forearms, these pasty white forearms.
I think I'm starting to understand the Victorians.
Explain.
Well, like, it wasn't necessarily that the ankle, like a woman's ankle, was overtly sexual or inherently sexual.
Mm.
It was like, if you've never seen anything at all, and then you see an ankle, it's just kind of like, ooh, what's that? Is that an ankle?
I mean, like, like I think that's what it is. Like, thankfully, I think that's been my my unintentional strategy this whole time, which is like
Lack of exposure.
yeah. So when they see it, they're like, "Holy shit!"
Oh wow, look, there's a body under there.
Yes, but it's like the body isn't pristine at all. Like, the body's like a 5. It's like $5 out of 10. Like it's on sale in a way. Like it's like
It's not a clearance body, but it's like a promotional 20% off.
It's the last percent off before it goes on clearance. It's like the 0.77, right? They're like, this is the lowest we'll go before we like fucking
give it away.
Yeah, like that's where my body's at. And like.
Well, mine's already in the dumpster, so, you got that going for you.
Well, that's just because I've had a marketing strategy.
Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not giving away views for free. You gotta earn it by, like, hanging out with me, idiot. Like, in a very specific context. So, like, I guess it makes sense that she would ask my opinion on... I mean, like, maybe my friend, like, saw, like, Elliott's such a pro at selling his body unintentionally that, like, I'll just tell him about it.
He's got to have some pointers, right?
Yeah. Just cover everything up. Yeah. Never show anybody anything.
Yeah, that seems like a good strategy for a cam girl.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's, like, the best strategy,
yeah,
right?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Obviously. Not because of any, like, inherent morality. Just, it's marketing. It's pure marketing.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the whole thing about, like, Nintendo, right? People say, like, oh, they have, like, false scarcity so that people want it more. It's like,
Yeah, and it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I do. I manufacture scarcity.
Who paid $50 for an amiibo?
This gal.
All you bitches. All of you.
But like that was one thing that always like that was one thing that got to me about it was just like realizing like it's the same thing that I do with hugs, right? Like an Elliott hug is like a very special and rare thing.
It's like a shooting star.
Less magical. You don't wish upon it.
It's fleeting and brief.
It's like life. What is it? Brutish? Short? No. It's...
short, brutish.
I think it ends with short, right?
Yeah, I don't even remember what we're quoting, honestly.
I just thought about this. Yeah, it was... but something brutish and short. Mm-hmm. That's what an Elliott hug is. Like, I'm just like, I don't fucking know how to do it anymore. Like, I'm not a human being about it.
What do I do with my arms?
Like, I'm overthinking it, I was like, I understand that we both have 2 arms. I'm uncertain what we do with each other.
Like, maybe if we just lean against each other for a second. Nope. No.
But, like, did I tell you, like, I asked my mother one time, I was like, Mom, do you think you're warm? And she goes, oh, absolutely. I was like, really? And she goes, oh, yeah, I'm incredibly warm. I was like, you do understand that when you and I see each other after like 8 months of not seeing each other, like we hug for about 5 Mississippis and then immediately break off, right? And she goes, yeah, but that's because we're human beings.
No, honey, that's normal.
Yeah, that's how human beings hug. I was like, I don't think so.
I've seen evidence to the contrary.
I would need you to cite your sources in this argument.
Oh no, cytogenesis. Anyway.
But I think about it. I'm like, I never told you this. Okay, so I have 2 elder sisters, and they're quite a bit older than me. If I'm 34 for the time being.
Let's just say, randomly, pick a number out of 34 sounds good.
Yeah,
Why not?
you know, for some reason that feels spiritually right.
Yeah. For instance, if you happen to be 34.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my sisters are in their 50s, and I was hanging out with my sister. It was like one of the only times I've ever hung out with her. We went to a juice bar because, like, of course, she lives in another liberal enclave. Same with me, and we're like, juice bar? Yeah, I was going to suggest the coffee shop, but juice bar feels better. We're in Southern California. Let's live a little.
Natch. Let's be bad.
Let's be bad. You know, we both said over and over. As we were ordering, the guy was like, what's your order?
Can you please stop being bad and just tell me what you want? And then you can go back to being bad if you would like. It seems like you're really hung up on this idea.
But so I was walking with my sister, and she goes, "Yeah, in our family, when the eldest and I were growing up, saying that you loved someone kind of basically meant like you wanted to have sex with them." I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, so it always weirds my sister and I out when, like, mom says, 'I love you guys.'" It's like, well, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
wow.
so then, Sadie, you know how, like, we just went over how fucking weird I am about, like, fucking being Edwardian and my fucking approach to things and, like, barely knowing how to hug. Guess what? I'm the most normal out of the previous 2 generations.
Oh, man, you're the well-adjusted one.
Yeah. Pity that, eh? But yeah, isn't that insane? Like,
wow.
Just everybody before me is just like fucking just weird, just unabashed weirdos who don't think it's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that whole boiling the frog thing, right?
Yeah. It's just like, that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what normal is.
Yeah. You only say you love someone if you're going to be the mother of their children or the father of their children, and you only hug someone for 5 Mississippi because that's how human beings do it. And then I was like, so am I the sentimental one out of all of us? Like, that feels weird.
Oh, you're just a big old softy.
I know. And like my best friend of like 5 years, like whenever you come over or we see each other, in like the first 10 minutes, I treat you like you're a colleague from a work function, and you work in the office 2 towns over.
Yes, Miss Blake, do come in. Please make yourself comfortable.
I hope the evening is finding you well. Thankfully you've dealt with it with grace and dignity over these past 5 years. But like, think about, like, peep that. Like, I'm the most normal out of them.
Man, that does explain some things.
Right? Like, if I had a kid, like, that kid would be one step closer.
Right.
They wouldn't be quite like
they'd be a 6 Mississippi hugger.
Oh, fuck.
I know, right? Raising the bar.
Do roses dare dream? But like, it's so funny because like whenever I hug my mom, I can feel it. Like I'm just doing the 1 Mississippi. And like at the 4 Mississippi, like I can feel her arms trying to like go back to her. Yep. Just making the exit. I was like, we can't do it. We just can't go that one more. Like, it's impossible.
That's funny. Honestly, I think there's a kind of beauty in that, really, because like there's not a whole lot worse than being mismatched on the hug time. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And yeah, especially when you start employing the like back pat, like, all right, okay.
Oh man.
Yep. No, we're still hugging.
The worst. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like, it is so difficult when the other person, when you're giving the signal, like, all right, let me up. Yeah. And the other person's like, nah. I'm all warm. It's like, well, I'm not.
Yeah. Getting colder by the minute, bud.
Yeah. Like I so loathe that. I have a Fitbit nowadays. It's not a Fitbit. It's Garmin, whatever. And I have to tell the truth. It's the only thing that I tell the truth on, but I have to tell it. And so, like, a part of this thing is like it shows you your stress, right?
Oh boy.
That
would
like,
stress me out.
I know.
Just
Like,
knowing how stressed I am would make me more stressed.
I know. Like, it's like one of those things where like you can't focus on it. Apparently, my resting heart rate is like 50. Like, I'm like, am I dying? Like, my heartbeat doesn't like because normal is 60 to 100, and I'm like, I'm half of that.
Am I dying? No, you're already dead. You just don't know it yet.
And then like some weird anime sound effect, like ping. It's like, oh no.
And a single drop of water falls into a pool.
And so like, my landlord is fucking weird, and he always had like a bunch of fucking dudes here. It's like, listeners, here's the thing, right? I'm a 35-year-old man, 34, perhaps 34-year-old man.
Theoretically 30. You're a theoretical 34.
I'm Schopenhauer's 34. There is no better argument to falling in love and having a long-term relationship than living in a house that has
the exact opposite.
Yes, that has like at any time has 2 to 5 single men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, because it is just a shit show where you're just like, what a lovely day to be home, and then all of a sudden Skinner's playing underneath your feet because it's the only thing that makes them feel young anymore.
Oh, God.
And you're like, well, and like I showed Sadie this, like we for the first 2 years I lived here, we share one room, which is the kitchen, and we used paper bags, and I was like, okay, guys, we can't keep doing this. I am going to buy a trash can, and we are going to use the trash can because I am the youngest person here, and I am 12 years out of college.
And I am the closest thing you will ever see to an adult in this house.
Yeah. And then, so I get that. And I showed Sadie, I took pictures. There's like 4 more, like there was 1 paper bag trash can. Now there's 4. Like they just increased it. Like they're like, it's so great to have a trash can. Get the fuck out of here, trash can. Give me more paper bags. I'm like, why? Why the fuck?
I just imagine that the thought process was like, oh, Elliott got his own trash can. We can't use that. I guess we'd all better have our own trash cans. Paper bags for everybody.
It's really charitable of you. It's really bold of you to say the word think. But so that's kind of my living situation. And then like they like to get, like one of the dudes likes to get drunk. It's always great. He's such a great guy when he fucking drinks.
Oh, isn't everybody? They're so fun.
So fun.
I'm a fun drunk.
Your rap sheet says differently. And so he likes to smoke when he drinks, and it just so happens that I smoke. And so he will come to my door.
Oh no!
Knock, ask for cigarettes, give me $2 for a cigarette, which I'm like, that's a good profit.
Yeah, it's a fair rate.
But then one time he did it. He knocks on my door and says like, hey, bud, do you have any cigarettes? I was like, sure. And he gives me like $2, and I give him like 3 cigarettes because I'm not a capitalist. And then he puts both his arms around me and gives me the wettest, sloppiest kiss on the cheek.
Oh.
And he goes, love you, bud. I was like, okay.
I'm not sleeping with you.
Yep. And so I checked my Fitbit or Garmin, and it was the highest stress I've ever had. Like measured. I was like, holy fuck, I am stressed as shit right now. Like my heart was beating. Like I was shaking.
Oh
I took a shower and sat down in it.
Like now I'm definitely dead.
Yeah. Or like it's the first time in years I've had a pulse.
Now what's really going to be fucked up is when you like get hooked on that rush and you're like, it's the only way I feel alive.
You know, some people do self-destructive things like get into meth or jump out of buildings, I guess. I don't know.
Airplanes, probably.
Yeah, airplanes, probably. That's better.
Yeah.
I hang out at bars, not to drink, but to give cigarettes to...
Sloppy drunks.
Yeah. But, oh my God, it was seriously the worst fucking thing.
That's horrifying.
Here's the thing about living with men of a certain age.
Man babies.
Yeah. It was like, I have dogs. I don't own any, but like dogs will come by and I'll be smoking, and like dogs seem to like me. In fact, animals seem to like me, right?
Yeah.
Your cats like me quite a bit.
Yeah, strangely.
Yeah, even Wyo, who's like fucking weird and,
Yeah.
antsy around humans.
She's antisocial and she doesn't like to be touched for long periods of time. I don't know why she does. I don't know why she gets along with you.
Spirit animal. I'm
She's
older.
your Patronus.
Wait, I'm the older one, so like I'm her spirit animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all tracks.
Yeah. God. So one of the guys, he and I shared the goss.
Dishing the hot goss.
Yeah, we talk about his husband and the newest van and the newest Entertainment Weekly. And he was like, like, how many people live in this house? I was like, me, landlord's brother, and
2 to 50.
yes, exactly. And he goes, because like I think the brother. One day I was walking the dog, and the brother's out front, and he's eating a green bagel. And it's not like a St. Patty's Day bagel. It's a moldy bagel. And he is just going to town on it. And I was like, you're shitting me right now. He's like, no, I wish I was. And I'm walking, and he's not just going to town. And he goes like, can you believe that so many people throw out such perfectly good bagels? And my friend was just baffled by this. And he goes, oh, hi, Poochie. And he breaks off a piece.
No.
and
No.
Gives it to the dog.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. And my friend was like, I would normally say, no, don't do that. But I was just so thrown off by the entire thing because I was thinking, what is he doing? What must have happened was, for some reason, he was walking by a trash can. He peeps the trash can. What probably happened was that, they threw out the entire loaf, right? It was in a plastic bag. They threw it all out because it was just green from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And he saw it, and he's like, holy shit, 6 good bagels, free for nothing.
Oh, my God.
Yoink.
Wow.
So I guess my encouragement to listeners is, if you are a single man, because I don't, for some reason, I think, and what my friend said was, he goes like, I think the reason that he's been single all his life is because like,
I wonder.
I think to be single that long, you necessarily don't develop interpersonal skills. Like you just don't understand, like, hey, in the trash cans, moldy bagels, don't eat them.
Yeah. Or at very least, don't let other people know that you're eating
Don't
them.
announce it, you dumb.
Don't share. This is one of those times where sharing is not caring.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame that you keep inside you, right? You're like,
That's a just for you snack.
that's when you look in the mirror and at the end of your life, and you're like, at the end of the day, I am a moldy bagel eater. Like, this is what I am at my core. And like, I wish I were a better man, but I'm not. Like, that's the sober reality.
Yeah.
But then I think about it, right? It's like, maybe I'm the only warm thing he's been able to embrace in like the past 10 years.
That
of
is
being
also
single.
horrifying.
Like it is one of the, like, cause like there are people who like don't know how to feel unless they're drinking. It's why my ex tried to get me drunk all the time.
Fair. Yeah.
It was just the worst thing and like the fucking, I used to, she used Smirnoff Ice on me. And it worked because I didn't know what drinking was. And, one day she comes home with it and I drink it and I'm like, I love everything.
This tastes like candy.
Yeah. This feels like a 7 Mississippi hug tonight in our bed. And mayhaps I'll show you what my neck looks like.
Ooh.
She was a titter with excitement. And then the next night, she's like, guess what I got? I was like, what?
More Smirnoff Ice.
Oh, that's cool. I don't want any. No, you should drink, though. Yeah, but I don't want to drink, though.
Oh, man.
But you should drink, though, maybe. Please, though? No. Why are you pushing this on me? Because last night I got to see your neck, and in your drunken haze, you said, maybe tomorrow you'll see my chest.
I'm going for 8, Mississippi.
Do I dare? The road less traveled.
Shoot for the moon.
And
Even
you'll
if
land
you
amongst
miss.
the stars.
You'll land among the 7 Mississippis.
I mean, you're so fucking funny, Sadie. God damn it.